In the last lesson, we discussed the traditional form of device management, MDM. In this lecture, we're going to review the characteristics of the new form of device management, Declarative Device Management. Declarative Device Management is an updated form of the Mobile Device Management Protocol. One of the main benefits and the major way it differs from traditional MDM is that it's asynchronous. The way this works is that the server delivers a specification to the managed device, also known as a declaration, and then it sits back and lets the device do all the work. For example, a software update policy could state that the device should always stay up to date with the latest security release, and then it sort of just sits back and lets the device manage itself, ensuring that it always installs the most available security updates as soon as they're made available. Let's contrast that a little bit with a traditional MDM, where the server would monitor for OS updates and then issue APNs to the device when it's time to update to 2601, 2602, and so on. Because of this asynchronous communication change, the device uses a dedicated status channel to report back its current state, notifying the device management server if it's in or out of compliance with policy. Now, as you can imagine from the traditional model that leverages Apple push notifications, that can be a very chatty process as far as devices and MDM servers sending messages back and forth to each other constantly. On the other hand, when it comes to declarative device management, communication is far more efficient and it's much quieter. If your MDM vendor supports declarative device management, this is the preferred method. The unique thing here is that DDM isn't an all or nothing thing. Some configuration policies rely on the traditional MDM paradigm, while others are adopting the new DDM style. It's quite likely here in late 2025, early 26, that your MDM server is going to support some number of declarative policies right alongside more traditional MDM ones. Now, Apple's been making good progress over the last few years to migrate many MDM policies to the declarative style. I mentioned software update, and that was one of the first, but as of this recording, they've added things like app deployment, Safari management, and Apple Intelligence settings, and even single sign-on configuration to the list of declarative management policies available. At this point, Apple is telling MDM vendors that declarative is the standard, and to get serious about migrating away from traditional MDM. This is what's driving the name change from MDM to DMS. Now, in this diagram, we see that the difference between a traditional MDM and a new DMS method. Let's take a look at how this differs from the traditional MDM model. Again, we have those managed devices on the right, and we've got our DMS server on the left. The DMS server sends a declarative configuration to the managed device, and then the device conforms to that policy. It then sends back updates via the dedicated status channel. This allows the device to work asynchronously and report back its current state to the DMS server. Hopefully now you've got a pretty good understanding of both traditional MDM and the new declarative DDM process. Next, let's explore Apple's specific management framework. We'll do that in the next lesson.